you guys. So today's daily reading ended up being a much longer story that I had to tell than 60 seconds could. So I'm back to try and get a better glimpse of what story is being told here. So we've got a love story unfolding, and this is happening in stages. I'm going to tell it as it appears to me, as if everything has already happened, but you try to recognize what stage you're in and move from that place towards the next part of the story that I tell, because I'm sure that many people are going to be in very different places. Some people could be at the end, like way past the end, and this is just a reminder of what you've been through. Some people could be at the beginning, like in the first stage. Some people could be before the beginning, and spirit is trying to tell you, what this journey is going to look like. Some people could be in the middle, and you need to know what's coming next. Okay, so this is a story about somebody, probably both people, and I do believe that this is like a soulmate collective reading. So you're probably going through similar things, just in different expressions. But this is a story about someone or two people who are being put in a space where they believe that they are going to find what they've always been looking for. They're being put in a space where they believe that their dreams are going to come true, that they're going to find their dream person. If not their person, they're going to find, whatever else is very meaningful. But let's tell this as if it's a love story, because that's what it's coming across as. So you're being put in a place where you think you're going to find your person. This could be that you moved somewhere and you were hoping that this would be the space that you find them. You took a new job. You thought this would be the space that you were going to find them. Now, the way that you were hoping you would find them, or the way that you're expecting to find them, is that they would, stumble into your life. That they would come into your life, that you would kind of meet them halfway, and it would be, divine timing and spontaneous. And this is something that comes from the idea that if you want your dreams to come true, if you want your manifestations to come true, you have to let them go, right? You have to let the universe do its work. You have to let God do its work. You just have to let things happen. So you decided to take this step to put yourself in a position where you could bump into this person, meet this person. But beyond that, beyond getting to the place, you weren't taking action. But you had the dream, and you let the dream be, and you gave it to the universe, and you're like, okay. So you could be in this space, right? Or you could be heading into this space. It's very dreamy. It's very hopeful. Now, by the time that period of your life came to an end, so it could be by the time you had to move again, or by the time the year ended, by the time this job ended, by the time this period of your life came to an end, many things had manifested. Many things had been released. But you did not get this ultimate thing that you were hoping for. The ultimate dream that you were hoping for did not happen. It did not happen. And you also weren't taking like active steps towards it, but that's because you thought that you had to, hands off and let things go. So that leads to a lot of grief and disappointment, and obviously, being hurt, because it feels like a bit of a betrayal. It feels like a loss, and you might feel at a loss. So then there's that grief, and that grief bleeds out from kind of like the root. It's a heavy red energy, because it could leave you feeling unstable, ungrounded, because you were hoping to ground yourself in this new place with this person, hoping you had already kind of been on the move. You hadn't really settled your feet. You hadn't picked a space to belong, because you were waiting for this person to come along and you could figure that out together. So now you're being left to kind of pick yourself up, figure out where you're going next. So that root chakra is kind of feeling a little bit ungrounded and kind of dominating you in a way where, you're trying to figure out this new sense of belonging. That puts you in a space where you have to process all of your emotions. So you could be here processing the disappointment, processing the loss, processing the grief. It's building you up, right? Because your shadow is now coming out and being like, and talking to you about all the things that it feels, all the fears that it has, all the disappointment, all the anger, all the resentment. So now you and your shadow are recognizing how much you have in common because you're the same, and you're getting a lot of empathy, and you're gaining a lot of compassion for yourself, for your shadow, for each other, because you recognize that you're experiencing the same thing and you ultimately want the same thing. You express them differently depending on where you're at. When you're in your great energy, then you're sunshine and butterflies, and your shadows maybe not. But your shadows maybe just a little bit more of a realistic expression of you, one that is upfront with the pain, outright with the pain, doesn't hide the pain, right? While you are like, I'm gonna stay positive. So you're coming into a companionship with your shadow. You're coming into a companionship with your anger. You're like, yeah, I am upset. Yeah, I am pissed off. Yeah, I am. Yeah. And you're putting up boundaries, walls that have to do with protecting yourself, not boundaries that have to do with pushing the world out, but protecting yourself, because you're not interested in false hope and false dreams. Now, with that energy, what the previous stage also left you with is this thing that you were still hoping for. Everything else had kind of been worked out. Other dreams had kind of come to manifest or come to pass. You had realizations. This was still the center. So now there was nothing to do but focus on this energy, the desire for love. It put you in a position where there was nothing else to do but think about how to get this, how to get it on your own, because you're sick of waiting, right? You needed to be sick of waiting. You needed to be sick of hoping this would happen to you. You needed to take the reins, but you needed to be in a healthy position to take the reins, okay? And have that, and move from a place of trust within yourself, self-reliant. So now you're in a position where you're like, okay, well, if the universe isn't going to bring this to me, I'm not going to waste my whole life hoping, wishing, and praying. Let me try. Let me try. Something shows up, some type of opportunity shows up where you are grounded in your own energy, where you feel safe within your own energy, where you're working on your own sense of belonging. An opportunity shows up for you to put yourself in a position to offer love, not only receive it, but also offer it. You could get on a dating app, right? That's just a very easy example. Now, when you take action to go put yourself in a position to find love and offer it, when you come to the table with your cup, not being led to the table, but you go there yourself, that's when you find the person, okay? So this could be instructions for people who are in the grieving stage or in the I'm sick of this stage. You have to be the one to take the action. This is not one of those situations where it's like, I put my hands up and I just let the universe lead me. You've learned that it's not going to be one of those situations where it falls in your lap. You need to do something to be in the position to be seen, to be recognized, okay? So you get on the dating app. You go through the motions of talking to someone, and you have to go on dates, okay? You have to go on the dates, and you may have to go on a few, but you're going to meet that person, okay? Because it ends with the Four of Wands. So this is the stage where you meet the person, and it comes through you taking the action to do so. It comes out of a place of your own core leading you, your own movement leading you. You got yourself here. And I think that has to be a part of the story, because it has to show you that you manifest your own dreams, not just, the skies and the stars, but you. I think Spirit wants to put you in a position for you to be empowered to recognize that you make it come to life, okay? So those are the different stages. If you're past this, congratulations. I think Spirit wants to remind you that you can make your dreams come true, because now this process probably can also be applied to many other things in your life. I will say that while manifestation is great and so powerful, it looks different, right? Sometimes it's that it shows up in your life like, whoa. And sometimes it's that you have to go and take the action. And I will personally say that as a reader, I've seen a lot of energy seeming to be looping and in a standstill. And so I think that Spirit is trying to push us to take action, to be more action oriented, because your dreams are going to come quicker that way versus you just being like, please, 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 and then sitting by and waiting. Put yourself in a position to be recognized by the dreams that you desire, because I bet your partner's doing the same.